Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? This is going to be my game review for Star Wars Squadrons. Right, so if you ever saw any of my trailer reactions for this game, you know I was so hyped. Like, every time I saw something new, the hype just kept growing and growing. I wanted something totally unique, totally new, something unlike Battlefront 2, and for the most part, I'd say like 90%, this game smashed it, mate. Now, I do want to quickly say one little disclaimer, I guess, before you carry on watching this review. I bought this game with the intention of single player. I like multiplayer games, and I will be doing multiplayer of this game, but this review is going to be properly focused on the single player experience, because that is what I prefer, single player games, and I bought this for that. Right, so the story takes place right after Return of the Jedi. The Death Star has been annihilated. And in the game, you play as the Empire and the New Republic, which is one of the things, again, I said it in my trailer reactions, that I was looking forward to the most. Playing both sides at the same time, that for me, I really, really like that idea. And if I'm being totally honest, it probably was the best bit of the whole game. Seeing something happen here, and then the other side has to deal with it, I really, really enjoyed it. And the Empire's like, we normally see them at the height of their power through the movies. They're definitely not at the height of their power in this game. It was refreshing to see. One of the sickest things in this game, right? No spoilers, by the way. You set up like an ambush with one of the sides, and you like, yo, man, it's time to slap them. And then the game flips it, and you deal with it on the other side. Things like that, I was so invested. I was like, this is so good. If they only focused on one, I think the game's like level would have come down a little bit. The fact that he's plays both is really, really good. Now, the game for me took 9 hours to complete. I'm probably certain you can like finish it maybe in 7 and 8. I took my time with it. The graphics, yo. Oh, wow, man. Game looks so good, mate. Space, just the environment, well, space, whatever. It looks so, so good. Just the detail in the cockpit, it feels real. It's so hard, like, the immersion is so hardcore in this game. Like, it feels like you're flying through space in an X-Wing or whatever, TIE Fighter. It's so good. The graphics are, like, one of the best bits in the entire game. I didn't play in VR, but I imagine if you play in VR, that would be like world-bending, mate. Also, staying with like the cockpits and your ship and everything, all of it's customizable. It's not the deepest like level of customization I've ever seen in a game, but it is still pretty sick. Like, you can customize what you look at, the UI and all that stuff. All that stuff, it just gave it a little bit deeper, man. It looks so good, and then you add your own little flares to it. Yes, the graphics side of stuff, I gotta be real, they're really good. Obviously, depending on what mission you're on and what side you're playing as, your ships and stuff and your loadouts can be, again, customized for each mission. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it is there, and it gives it just enough. Just enough, man. Now, talk about the gameplay when you're actually flying these ships. It's so good. It's so good, and they've done a really good job with the most important thing. If you're a proper noob, you'll find it flying. You could do it. Like, you can have zero experience in any like flying games. You'll find the controls easy to learn and easy to remember. If you're experienced, there's depth, yo. There's little detail things that I don't want to spoil for you in case you do play the game, but all I will say is if you want to learn more, the game offers it. And I was finding at the end I had like full control of whatever ship I was in. Yeah, the gameplay, the controls, solid. What I will say is, to be totally fair though, every time you play like a new mission, the environment, the immersion is a 10 out of 10. They change and you're like, whoa. It's actually crazy how good it looks, but the objectives, there's not many. I won't spoil what ones there are, but don't think there's like, every mission is totally different. There's a lot of things, repetitive things you do over and over, but because the environment is so crazily different from mission to mission, it didn't really break it. I rolled with it, man. It wasn't this repetitive thing. Like, if you look at something like Avengers, that game was so repetitive. It's like the same missions in the same few environments, but this had few missions in totally different environments, which in space is kind of weird. Space is the same thing, but when you play it, you'll know what I mean. Giving this game a lot of praise. I think negative-wise, there's only two things. First of all, the cast and like your teammates, I wouldn't say they're forgettable, but their like backstory is kind of like doesn't have any impact on the game whatsoever. They were fine. They weren't bad. They were just like meh. And there was one other thing that kind of like bummed me out a little bit. I wanted to see like a direct clash between who you're playing as. That would have been so insane. But I get it, you're playing as both of them, it would never happen anyway, but I really wanted to see that anyway. But yeah, those are my two negatives, but this game was super solid, man. It was really, really good. For a Star Wars game, that's only like a flight simulator. Well, it's not a simulator, you know what I mean. But for something that's not on the ground, no Jedi, no Sith, none of that stuff, it worked so good. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is a must-buy. If you like this type of like aerial combat, simulator-ish stuff, then it's definitely a must-buy as well. If you only play a certain type of game, like Battlefront 2, you love it so much, but you don't really like the flying side of stuff, and you're kind of like, you're unsure if this is going to be your type of game, wait for it to go on sale a little bit, but anything else is definitely worth its full price, and I'm going to give Star Wars Squadrons 8 nerds out of 10. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that is only for the single player. I will be playing the multiplayer side of the game, but I'm not like dying to play it. I really just wanted a good story, a good single player, and I pretty much got that. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, have you got the game? Are you playing it? Are you enjoying it? Please let me know in that comment section below. As always, thank you so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and I will see you all in the next one.